Whether you're a middle school student, a high school student looking to transfer, or a parent of a student, trying to be able to find a high school that is the right fit can be an overwhelming process. And here at St. Henry District High School, we feel that we are one of those great options for you to choose from. To have high numbers, one of the things that we have to do is to put our teachers in a position where they have an environment where they can be able to collaborate with the students. The faculty at St. Henry are committed to preparing their students for life after high school. And some of the ways that we're able to do that is by offering a strong AP program, and we will also start offering dual credit courses for our upperclassmen. With St. Henry being a Catholic private school, faith is a very important part of our culture. We start and end our day with prayer and also have several all-school masses. One of the things that we're also very proud of is that 100% of our students are actively involved in community service on and off campus. Here at St. Henry, we have several clubs and organizations for students to be able to choose from, and 23 different athletic teams. On campus, we have our own gymnasium, track and field, soccer field, softball, and baseball fields. And recently, we took over and renovated an athletic facility located in Florence, Kentucky. The things that we're doing here today at St. Henry District High School are making for an even brighter future. When our students enter and exit our building, every single day they are reminded of our 5 pillars: scholarship, faith, leadership, arts, and athletics. We believe these pillars are what lays out the foundation for our students here at St. Henry District High School, not only to prepare them during their high school years, but for wherever life may take them.
Greetings, Crew Nation. Welcome back to Holbrook Hall for tonight's 9th Region volleyball matchup between the St. Henry Crusaders and the Beechwood Tigers. The Crew comes into this game sporting a 7-4 record, while the Tigers are off to a sluggish start at 4-6 on the year. Zach, the Crew have won their last 2 games and have a tough schedule coming up with matches against Mercy McCauley and Seton. What does the Crew need to do to stay on track tonight and get a good win against a young Beechwood Tigers team?
Gabe, they have to do what they've been doing all year, and that's stay on the attack. This talented St. Henry team has had a lot of people coming clutch with a lot of big hits and big games, and they need to just keep doing that. This young Beechwood Tigers team, one of the struggles in with their team this year has been their defense and blocking, and that's one thing St. Henry needs to look to expose tonight with their powerful ball strike.
All right, and we'll be back in a little bit for tonight's tip-off between the St. Henry Crusaders and the Beechwood Tigers. We'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned.
Citizens work hard to create a sense of teamwork, respect, responsibility, and perspective. We remind you that good behavior is expected from all, and misconduct will not be tolerated. Let this competition reflect mutual respect among all participants, officials, and fans. Good luck. Please stand for our prayer recitation followed by the national anthem. God, please be with me and my teammates to prepare for our match. Help us to do our best, remember the skill we have practiced. Help us to work together to achieve our goal, whether we win or lose. God, with our opponents also. Help us remember to be good teammates and competitors, and keep us safe as we play. Amen. Our national anthem will be sung by Hannah Beach. Good evening and welcome to St. Andrews High School and all the Crusaders for your player introductions for this evening. Introducing the Beechwood Tigers, number 4, Molly Camden. Number 5, Brooke Stiles. Number 6, Emma Massey. Number 7, Ellie Mackey. Number 10, Megan Camden. Number 12, McCall Fetters. Number 13, Katie Rolfe. Number 14, Lily Davis. Number 15, Abby Lester. And number 33, Abigail Roberts. Tigers are coached by Katie Johnson, assisted by Carly Smith. Introducing the St. Andrews Crusaders, number 1, Natalie Knoll. Number 3, Cora Taylor. Number 4, Elizabeth Tingling. Number 5, Ellie Rochelle. Number 6, Olivia Viacio. Number 9, Sydney Archstein. Number 10, Alexis Wolf. Number 11, Taylor Preston. Number 12, Rachel Gilman. Number 13, Abby Schaefer. Number 17, Olivia Skidmore. Number 19, Kylie Jeffrey. Number 21, Caitlin Larkins. Number 8, Bella Newman. This is coached by Maureen Kaiser, assisted by Sean Sward.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, welcome to Erlanger for tonight's matchup between the St. Henry Crusaders and Beechwood Tigers. We're about to get underway here momentarily.
Beechwood number 7, Ellie Mackey.
Beechwood will serve first, number 7, Ellie Mackey. Cora Taylor with the dish to Preston for the quick kill. Crusaders go up 1-0.
So for St. Henry, number 3, Cora Taylor.
Number 3, Cora Taylor in to serve for the Crusaders. Free ball to Preston, converts on the attack.
Preston's just getting assists from everywhere right now.
And a little roster update for the St. Henry Crusaders. Freshman Olivia Skidmore is unavailable to play tonight. So look for number 5, Kylie Deathridge, to get some looks. And a couple different roster changes. Orshell with the attack. Taylor to Knoll. And that's another point for the crew. Excuse me, number 19, Kylie Deathridge. We're on the floor for the Crusaders. We have number 11, Taylor Preston, number 5, Ellie Orshell, number 1, Natalie Knoll, number 13, Abby Schaefer, number 4, Catherine Tabling, and number 3, Cora Taylor. Ellie Orshell with a nice attack from the outside.
St. Henry's doing a good job of turning defense into offense here. They're attacking really well right now. Like I said, they just need to keep exposing the not so good blocking of this young Beechwood Tigers team.
Nice block by Preston, rallied by the Tigers. Allie Wolf with the attacking attempt. Nice shot by Ellie Orshell. Zach, you mentioned in the opening and just recently that the Beechwood Tigers are a little lacking in the defensive department. What do you think they have to do to stop plays like that?
I just think it comes a lot with knowing your opponent, knowing how they play, what types of setups they like to run. St. Henry is very attack-oriented. As soon as the ball's on their side, they don't think anything besides just kill the ball. And that's just one thing the Beechwood Tigers need to know coming into this. And it does help that St. Henry does have a height advantage on this young Beechwood Tigers team.
Last rally, I think the ball hit every part of St. Henry's gym, but the Crusaders come up with the point. Their lead extends to 6-0, and Allie Rolf.
That's the height right there. Taylor Preston standing in the middle just looks like a tower to these smaller Beechwood Tiger players.
And a quick timeout by Beechwood. We'll be back.
And welcome back here. Crew have an early 7-0 lead on this young Beechwood Tiger team. Make it 8-0. Nice serve by Cora Taylor.
Number 7, Ellie Mackey for the Tigers looked a little frightened at that last serving attempt by Cora Taylor.
There it is. The Beechwood Tigers on the board with a very nice hit from number 13, Katie Rolfe.
Speaking of Katie Rolfe, she is serving for the Tigers. Passing there by Abby Schaefer. Got Cora Taylor out of position a little bit, and a net violation will shorten this lead 8-6. The Crew are up 8-2 here in the early going.
That's 3 back-to-back points for this Tigers team. We'll see if they can keep the momentum on their side.
A little bit of an unfortunate break for Ellie Orshell, as that ball just grazed the top of the net and fell in pretty hard.
Textbook placement by Beechwood.
Serving there by the Tigers will give the Crew their 9th point of the first set. Number 19, Kylie Deathridge, comes in to sub. Ellie Orshell with the serve. Good stuff by Taylor Preston to set up a double.
And that's just hard to stop.
Not much you can do there, Butter.
No, not much at all.
That looked reminiscent from you from 8th grade gym class.
Oh, you already know, Gabe. My vertical is lethal.
From what I've heard through the grapevine. Nice block by Sydney Arsenstall and Taylor Preston tag team on that Beechwood initiative.
And St. Henry seems to take the momentum right out of Beechwood's hands and puts it back in theirs.
Orshell with the serve. And the Tigers can't return it. Crusaders have now extended their lead to 14-3. Little sideways spinner serve from Orshell. Nice pass from Deathridge. That'll set up a kill.
That's great offense right there. Great attack.
Another good pass from Deathridge. Set up an outside attack from Arsenstall that got stifled. Attack error on the Tigers. Breeds another Crusader point.
Well, Gabe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like Taylor Preston has about 2 times the height as every single person on this Beechwood Tigers team. It's a very big advantage if I'm not wrong.
Crew is definitely not lacking in the height department for this game. And compare that to the game that we called a couple of weeks ago against Notre Dame. Crusaders were
Considered
undersized throughout most of the game. Sydney Nolan and Anna Long, and also Abby Powers for the Notre Dame Pandas. A couple inches taller than most of our hitters, and that's another point for the Crusaders. Nice serve by number 12, Rachel Gilman. Number 6, Olivia Vallecillo, comes in to relieve Sydney Arsenstall of her duties. Serving error by the Crusaders. A little quick from Taylor to Preston. Unable to convert. And we'll try it again.
And that one's it.
Taylor Preston, point Crusaders.
It's hard to handle, Zach.
All right, it's a good 1-2 punch to have for this Crusaders team.
So the Crusader number 11, Taylor Preston.
Serve from Preston. Nice block by Kylie Deathridge and number 10, Alexis Wolf.
Even without the height of Taylor Preston out there, St. Henry still has more height on their front line than Beechwood does.
Point Tigers.
Serving air by Preston.
So for Beechwood number 4, Molly Camden.
And if you're just joining us, the Crusaders are leading 20-6 here in the early going. In set number 1. Core of the pass to Alexis Wolf. Viasio can't finish the job on the attacking end. Number 4, Molly Camden with the serve. Wolf with a click to Kylie Deathridge, and she finishes the attack with a point.
You said a game. Kylie Deathridge is going to be a big part of the St. Henry team, and especially in the game today, with the absence of Olivia Skidmore.
The seniors showing a little stoicism out there on the court. Camden to Rolfe. Can't convert. Nice play by Taylor to stop that attack. Good tip by Deathridge. Does not fall. And she picks herself up with a nice little block. Crusaders extend their lead 22-7. Man, I wish the Reds had that many hits today, Zach.
They couldn't buy a run to save their lives. I do not want to talk about it.
I'm sorry I ticked you off.
No, it is okay. It's okay.
Nice dump by Cora Taylor.
Dave, did you know they left 26 runners on base yesterday or today? 26,
That's a lot.
and had 12 strikeouts with runners in scoring position.
That's, again, a lot.
It's just not a recipe for success. They should maybe talk to the St. Henry volleyball team about it, because they seem to have the recipe right up their sleeve.
Number 4, Molly Camden for the Beechwood Tigers tried a little trickery there with a dump over the Crusaders to the Crusaders side. She's called for a double. Crusaders lead 24-7, game point. Cora Taylor finishes the job. And that is the end of set 1.
Gabe, it's really the miss hits that count. She did not catch that one clean, but that was just the trickery she was planning from day one.
We'll take them any way we can get them. That's the end of set 1. The Crusaders win 25-7, and we will be back in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. We're here to start set number 2. Alexis Wolf with the serve. And Taylor Preston with the block to start things off here.
St. Henry's definitely not lost their touch through this short break we have taken.
Lexi Wolf with a little assist from the net. Taylor Preston and Viacia posing a tough matchup for the Tigers up front. Good set by Wolf to Viacio. That's a nice kill for the junior.
You would think it would be a little demoralizing if you were this Beechwood Tigers. You just keep hitting the ball and hitting the ball and just seeing nothing but it coming right back at you.
Now, Zach, one of the main talking points for the crew coming into this game is their experience over the Beechwood Tigers. And looking at their schedule, they played a gauntlet, and wow is all I can say about that play. But the Crusaders have faced a very difficult schedule in the early going. They played 4 out of the top 10 teams in the state. 3 of them are the top 5 teams. Crusaders coming in at number 5 in the recent polls.
Well, Gabe, you look at who the Crusaders have already played and who they still have to play, and you think, when are they just going to get their stretch of great games or games that they should come out victorious? But they're getting ready to start another stretch, just like the beginning of the season, when they're playing hardcore opponents. They're playing top-notch teams in top-notch fields.
From a scheduling standpoint, you really can't ask for much more from Maureen Kaiser, the head coach of the Crusaders, for their scheduling, as Natalie Knoll pauses to tie her shoe.
Well, Gabe, as they say, you can't be the best without beating the best, and St. Henry's really trying to make a statement this year with all the talent that they have on their team.
Good attempt by Arsenault to keep that alive just outside the pin. That'll be a Beechwood point. 4-2 here in the early going. But Zach, back to the point I was making. This is one of the few games the Crusaders have played this year where they have been older on the roster than the opposing team. Crusaders have been playing with a very strong core of juniors with additions from 3 new freshmen. Sophomore Sydney Arsenault, who just converted on that kill. A team that, while they have played many big games, they played in a lot of tough environments. From a maturity perspective, they may not be the oldest team, especially with the gauntlet of schedule that they've been playing. But coming into this game, the Beechwood Tigers only have 2 seniors on their roster, very junior heavy. But Zach, how do you think the Crusaders' experience is really exploiting the Tigers so far this game?
Just by the way they've been attacking the ball, I think St. Henry's done a much better job today of turning defense into offense, and a lot of that comes with knowing your teammates and knowing the style of play that your team likes to play with. Not only is the St. Henry team, while they may be young, they've played a lot of games with each other. A lot of the girls on this team have played with each other in big environments last year and some of them the year before. So they really know the style of play that each of them likes to play with, and they're putting that to use here.
Number 4, Kathleen Tabling checks in for number 11, Taylor Preston. Free ball for the Tigers. Nice pass outside to Sydney Arsenault. Great dig on the receiving end by number 15, Abby Lester.
That's exactly how they drew it up on the playbook. That is the textbook definition of how to turn defense into offense.
Number 1, Natalie Knoll to serve. A little knuckleball over the top. Not really sure.
This net has been very generous to both teams today.
Well, Zach, I think if you hit the ball hard enough, the net kind of just gives way.
Just like ping pong.
Just like ping pong. Or for your purists out there, table tennis. But speaking of the net unkind on that attempt.
Didn't hit it hard enough. Or in the right spot.
Very observant of you.
Well, thank you.
Wolf to Deathridge. Roll shot over to the front. A little discrepancy on the last call.
Point Crusaders.
That'll be Point Crusaders.
Point Tigers.
Another serving error from the crew.
In the match team.
Oh, there it was. There's the defense Beechwood needs. They just need to continue that.
Nice roll shot from Viacio. Throw off the rhythm. Was saved by tabling.
Great recovery.
Nice attack by Kylie Deathridge. She converts. The Crusaders extend their lead 9-5 here in the early going of the second set. Number 12, Rachel Gilman comes in to relieve number 19, Kylie Deathridge. And also for the Crusaders, number 11, Taylor Preston comes in to check in for number 4, Catherine Tabling. Or Elizabeth Tabling, excuse me. Ouch.
Wow. It's going to sting in the morning, Gabe. You keep hitting them that hard, and soon enough they're going to hit the floor.
Props to Molly Camden on that last play. She just took a bullet right to the face. You have to give credit where credit is due. McCall Fetters with the attack for the Tigers, and Olivia Viacio drops one in the back row. Number 12, Rachel Gilman to serve.
Yeah, that just happened. Great play by Taylor Preston.
That is a net violation by Taylor Preston. She went over the net on that last play, so that'll be point to the Tigers. Got a little antsy.
She's using her length too much to her advantage.
Not a statement you hear a lot in the volleyball realm, especially in high school. Wolf to Preston, good night.
She hit that with a little anger.
Vengeance is a real thing, Zach. Number 10, Lexi Wolf to serve. Attack error on number 15, Abby Lester for the Beechwood Tigers. Wolf to serve again. Nice offering over the top. And number 12, McCall Fetters will execute on the kill. Now, Zach, going back to the maturity point I made earlier. In a game like this, where the Crusaders obviously have the upper hand in the skill department and the experience department, what do they have to do in a game like this to stay locked in and take care of business and not get distracted by the game, to stay in the game?
I think they need to continue to get off to these quick starts like they've been doing at the beginning of each set. I really think it helps the way that how quick they're getting their points, because then it just feels like they are in the need always to keep their head in the game, because the second you let your head out of the game, everything can switch. And I think the experience of these girls out there know that from playing in games where they had the upper hand, but then their focus was lost and all of a sudden everything changed. So they just need to make sure that no matter what, you know what they say, when you put your foot on their throat, you don't take it off, especially this game.
I agree with you completely. And Sydney Arsenesaw with that last kill for the Crusaders. Cora Taylor in to relieve Taylor Preston of her duties. Speaking of Cora Taylor, I spoke with her on the phone a couple nights ago in preparation for what we thought was last night's Assumption game that got canceled. But Cora Taylor is a new addition to the St. Henry volleyball family. She junior transfer from Lawrenceburg. She is the starting setter for the Crusaders. She has won 2 regional championships while with the Lawrenceburg Tigers. McCall fetters the serve, and that'll be out. Cora Taylor adds a very nice dimension to this Crusaders team, something they've been lacking in the last couple of years. I spoke with her and I asked her what the most important thing was to her on this team. Was it chemistry? Was it winning? Was it getting touches? And her response to me, win at all costs. Cora Taylor is a gamer. She's an absolute gamer. She is someone that you do not want to go up against. She's someone that everyone is definitely afraid of on the other side of the net. Nice passing by the crew. But something that adds a very good dimension to this Crusaders team, especially in the maturity department, playing a tough schedule. Tack error on the Tigers will be another point to the Crusaders. Elizabeth Tabling to serve. But Zach, also one thing that she mentioned, and I've heard this from multiple sources, that the Crusaders this year, just with all the COVID precautions, the shortened preparation to the season, can't do team bonding, it's really had an effect on the Crusaders on the floor. They have a lot of new faces, a lot of new people that haven't played together. Obviously, it's shown, especially in some of the bigger games. But my question to you is, what do you think Cora can add to this team from a maturity standpoint and getting everyone in line to help these Crusaders make a deep run in the 9th region tournament?
Well, a lot of these girls have big dreams to play at the next level, and Cora Taylor, being already, as we've talked about, a Butler commit, can help them and guide the younger girls on the team to the path to what it takes to make it to the next level. And that's what this team has to offer to a lot of these young players, because they have a lot of people who are playing at the next level. And so I think she adds a lot of experience and, as you said, game to the team. And she's also someone who's out there who people just like. People will get along with her. She's a very nice person if you ever get to talk to her. But it's just, she'll come in and she'll help the team stay connected, even though it's harder to do that outside of practices and games.
Tigers on the rally. Power tip over the middle. Nice play by Viasio to keep that one alive. Good play by Deathridge and Arsenstahl on the receiving end to block that play. Knoll with the serve, and that is long. Number 13, Katie Rolfe, comes in for number 7, Ellie Mackey, for the Tigers. Molly Camden with a generous gift from the net. A little roll shot serve will drop in. Nothing you can really do there, Zach. Arsenstahl the tip over. Rolfe with the attack. Good pass from Tabling.
One person on the San Henry team it's nice to see Kylie Deathridge have a big game like she's having tonight. It's very big in these types of games to get the players who maybe haven't been on as good as a role as some of the others back into it. And she's played a phenomenal game to this point with still a good amount of game to play. But this is a very bright spot for the St. Henry team in this game where they've completely had control.
Ooh. Good attempt by the crew to keep that one alive. It's a little bit strong from Olivia Viasio, tried to poke that one over the net. Can't fault their effort on that last play.
Hustle gets rewarded, Gabe.
Very much so. Number 12, Rachel Gilman, and number 3, Cora Taylor come in to replace number 4, Elizabeth Tailing, and number 19, Kylie Dethridge. Little miscue there from the Crusaders. They're up a bunch, 22-13 here in the latter stages of the second set.
So she's not just a setter, folks. As you just saw, she is also very talented killing the ball.
He's got some ups, Zach. I wonder if we put that basketball hoop down, if she could throw one down.
Looks like me back in the day.
Be another point for the Crusaders. Lexi Wolf with the point on the serve. Game point. Can't convert. Substitution for the Tigers, number 7, Ellie Mackey comes in for number 13, Katie Rolfe. Crusaders getting a little bit spread out with their passing, causing a Lexi Wolf net violation. Wolf to Taylor, and that'll be point Crusaders. And that is the second set. That'll go towards the Crusaders. And while we have you here, SHDHS is teeing it up for the 2020 Golf-a-thon, and we need your help to make sure this year is a hole-in-one. The event is scheduled for Friday, October 9th at Hickory Sticks Golf Course. Over the last 10 years, the Golf-a-thon has raised more than $500,000 to help support our athletic teams, facilities, and programs. This year's proceeds for the Golf-a-thon will help fund senior athlete banners and gifts, team equipment and uniform expenses incurred during the COVID-19 pandemic, track resurfacing. So please consider making a donation to your favorite team by visiting the Golf-a-thon website at golfathon.shdhs.org. Thank you to our event sponsors, St. Elizabeth Physicians Podiatry and Premier Gaming Group. As the end of the second set, the Crusaders win by a score of 25-14, and we'll be back in a second for set 3.
And welcome back to the beginning of set 3. I would like to take a quick moment to congratulate the St. Henry boys golf team for winning the 7th region championship at Summit Hills Country Club. This is the first regional championship in 20 years. Kevin DeBerkey and Ryan Butler tied for third with a score of 74. Mason Butler shot a 77, while Matt Schaefer shot an 80, and Gabe Ryan came in with an 85. The same group also captured All-A State title last Friday.
next week is the state golf tournament, and the boys team will be heading down to Bowling Green. Best of luck. Go Crew.
Back to the action. Cora Taylor with the serve. The call feathers over the net. Knoll getting kind of out of position on that last attempt. Miscommunication by the Crew. That'll be point Beechwood. Now, one interesting dynamic that Cora brings to this team. This has to do with the coaches, too. And nice little quick from Cora Taylor to Taylor Preston. There's no stopping that. But one interesting dynamic is Coach Maureen Kaiser and Coach Sean Schwartz. If you meet them, are very talkative people, very loud people. And with a group this year for the varsity girls volleyball team that isn't the most naturally loud, there's been an adjustment period with talking, communication. But Cora Taylor is definitely someone that can step into that role. She is not the most talkative person in the world, but when she needs to get a job done, she will get it done. And I think coming down the line, especially making a run into the 9th region tournament and beyond, Cora Taylor is going to be an essential part to this Crusaders team, especially from a communication standpoint. So if any of you guys are watching the Crew for the time being the rest of this year, please pay attention to that dynamic.
Well, talking when she needs to get it done, that's just part of the win at all costs attitude. At some point, you just have to understand that even if you're a shy person, especially when you play sports, especially a team sport, you have to communicate. And volleyball is one of the biggest communication sports there is. And so she has no problem when the time comes to communicate with all of her teammates, and she does a really good job of running the floor.
That'll be point Crusaders. The Crew takes a 4-2 lead here in the early going of the third set.
Replay point, double net violation.
And we are going to replay that point. Preston with the serve.
Point Tigers. Substitution number 4, Molly Camden.
That'll be a serving error on the Crew. Knotted up at threes.
The Crew have made a lot of mistakes in the beginning of this third set. And as we said earlier in the game, they have got to keep their focus, because at any given day, at any given point, any team can beat any team. And you don't want to see the Crew let their heads go away from them. They have to stay focused and stay locked. Just because your opponent's down doesn't mean they can't get back up.
Nice dig by number 10, Megan Camden for the Beechwood Tigers. That's set up an attacking there by Kylie Deathridge. Crusaders looking a little bit discombobulated out there. Now, Zach, this is where that communication comes in. That's an attack right down the middle by Taylor Preston, coming from the back row.
Crusaders.
And a nice little tip from the net and off the fingers of number 13, Katie Rolfe, for a side out. Lexi Wolf with the serve. Lester a little bit too deep, and we're knotted up at fives. Nice block by Cora Taylor, applauded by the few St. Henry fans in attendance tonight.
It's definitely not as loud as it was when we were broadcasting the Notre Dame game a couple weeks ago.
Roberts, point Tigers.
Tip by the Tigers drops. between points, you can almost hear a pin drop. Roll shot by Preston. Camden to Rolf does not work out, and that'll be Point Crusaders. Abby Schaefer with the serve. Free ball for the Crew, and Kylie Dethridge takes advantage of that opportunity. Now, Zach, you can definitely... I don't care if you're ignorant of what's going on in the world. It is definitely a different environment here compared to years previous for volleyball games. Usually there would be a student section cheering emphatically, but this is a different age of high school volleyball. So what do you think the effects... How do you think that affects the Crusaders and the Beechwood Tigers, frankly? Especially,
well, I think with athletes in general, where big crowds come, a lot of athletes feed off the emotions of the crowd. As you can see back when we broadcasted the Notre Dame game, for the crowd that we had, there was still a lot of noise, and you could see the girls on each team feeding off the energy of their fans. Whereas here, you don't really see a lot of life or a lot of energy in the building, and it's just hard for the girls to get excited about stuff when they don't have their fans and their cheering sections to cheer behind them.
All right, and that prompts a timeout by the Beechwood Tigers, and we'll be back here shortly. And we are back. Abby Schaefer to serve. Cora Taylor to Ellie Shell. And you can mark the Crusaders down for their 12th point. Nice serve by Abby Schaefer. Another free ball for the Crew.
Back on that sports topic, Gabe, I believe that it's been difficult for all athletes. I think this is an era that's going to take a lot of adjusting to. And hopefully in times coming, things can start to win its way back to normal. I know it's not going to go there ASAP, but the world really hasn't seen anything like this before. And for the athletic departments of every school and KHSA to be able to adjust the way that they have, that's just props to them, because a lot of kids rely on sports just for outing or to have a good time. And so you really like to see that KHSA is doing everything they can to keep sports up and going. And just another shout out to Mr. Gish and the St. Henry faculty for doing the job that they do to keep our school open and to allow the kids to come back, and all the preparation they've done to allow us to come back to in-person class. And I can say from my standpoint, I much rather enjoy seeing my friends in person at school than having to see them online. And so just props out to them and to KHSA for all the things they've done to keep athletes and students safe.
And back to the action. Abby Schaefer with the serving error. But Zach, on that point, I couldn't agree with you more. And definitely the COVID era of pretty much everything, whether you're talking about school, whether you're talking about sports, whether you're talking about life, it really exposes the people that really want to be here versus the people that really don't, especially in a sports light. Because a lot of people only feed off crowd energy. And in big games and tough games, sometimes you can see the people wither when they are faced with challenges, and sometimes you can see those gamers that rise to the occasion. I think the Crew, just with their a little bit of inexperience and a little bit of chemistry issues. Nothing major, but you can definitely see that play a part in some of their games so far this year.
It's this time, these types of times where you see what athletes, students, people are really made of. The people who rise above the occasions, adjust, and still thrive are the people who are out there working every day and making the proper adjustments needed to continue their life. So while this time is not good for anyone and no one really likes it, it's a time to where people really get to take an account about themselves and get to make themselves stronger as an athlete, as a student, and just in life in general. And a lot of these athletes especially have done a great job with that.
Rachel Gilman in to serve. Nice attack by Taylor Preston. That'll extend the Crusader lead to 8, 17-9 here in the latter stages. Set number 3. The Crusaders take the first 2 sets by a pretty wide margin. Nice serve by Gilman. Or Shell.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Tigers doing everything they can to keep that ball alive. Just unfortunately can't.
Only if they had 4 hits.
Only if they had 4 hits. Just like if only you had 4 strikes at the Reds. For you stats gurus out there, the Reds left 26 runners on base today in their 13-inning loss to the Braves. First round of the National League wild card. If you're watching the game, I apologize for that hitting exhibition.
And for you who didn't watch the game but are baseball fans, they also set the record for the most strikeouts in a postseason game.
37 to be exact.
Which means there is just a whole lot of offense.
Whole lot of offense. And I hope you guys know that we're being sarcastic.
Great placement. Great placement.
You will take every point as you can get them. And Cora Taylor, very happy of the way that serving attempt panned out. Nice kill by Taylor Preston. Maureen Kaiser, the coach for the Crusaders, emphatically yelling for the Crew to speed up and play with a little bit more energy. Crew have a 21-10 lead here in the late stages of the third set. Nice serve by Cora Taylor. Good play by Orshell. That is long, and that'll be a side out on the Tigers. Taylor with their 4th serve, and it is a little bit short.
So the feature number 12, McCall Fetters.
Number 12, McCall Fetters in to serve for the Tigers. Nice trickery by Cora Taylor reading the defense there. Rachel Gilman with a nice diving effort. Unfortunately, can't get the pass to any nearby Crusaders. Fetters to Schaefer. Cora Taylor to her confidant, Taylor Preston.
It's just hard to stop. I mean, a ball traveling that fast, that angle. You see a lot of volleyball players out there who, when they hit it, it's a diagonal line. With her, it's 100% straight down.
Nice block by Taylor Preston. Speaking of
It's a Swiss Army knife, Gabe, right there. She does it She does it all.
Now, Zach, I don't know of many people that can hit a volleyball like a ball that just got shot out of a cannon at a 35-degree angle. That's just next level stuff.
Can the Crusaders end it?
We got match point here, 24-12. Good save by Orchelle.
Bada bing, bada boom. That is all she wrote.
Nice dish from Taylor Preston to Sydney Arsensaw. And that'll conclude tonight's match between the St. Henry Crusaders and the Beechwood Tigers. The Crew take 3 sets, and that'll be the end of the game. And thank you for everyone that tuned in on this September 30th, 2020 night to listen to Zach and I in the broadcast booth. We really appreciate all the support. And we would like to thank everyone who made tonight's broadcast possible, especially our sponsors, the SHDHS Athletic Boosters, St. Elizabeth Physicians Podiatry, and the Premier Gaming Group. We'd also like to give a special shout out to our crew tonight, Laney Jones on the camera, Evan Payne on the OBS, my partner Zach Day on color commentator, and I am Gabe Ryan.
And I'm Zach Day.
And we'll see you here next time. Thank you so much.